Hey guys, it's Victoria and welcome back to FemmeHead. Today I want to talk about making it through the first trimester when you have already one baby or toddler or child. All in all, this pregnancy has been pretty darn easy. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to be like, oh, woe is me. I know people have it way, way worse. I have it pretty easy when it comes to pregnancies. The first trimester is my least favorite part, followed closely by or tied with the last month of pregnancy. I'm not quite there yet, so I can't say with this one, but with Theo, the last month was just rough. It was summer, I was overheated, I had rashes in my armpits, my ribs hurt, my back hurt. I was ready for the baby to come. Through this pregnancy, when I was feeling super nauseous and just tired and awful in the first trimester, I was like, you know what, this sucks, but this is so much easier to deal with than waking up 7 times a night with a newborn. So that's what I would tell myself. The hardest part about being pregnant with not your first child is that you already have that cute little rugrat to take care of, and they're a lot of work. They're a lot of work. And so you can't just like peace out and go take a nap when you need to, or just go like lay and feel like poop when you need to. They need you, and you gotta watch them, you gotta feed them, and like just take care of them, make sure they don't kill themselves. So I don't puke when it comes to like morning sickness and like pregnancy nausea, thankfully. Sometimes I wish I could just puke and feel better, but I don't. I just am not a puker. But the worst part about nausea this time was I had to make Theo like food and meals while being like, I'm gonna throw up. So that was hard, like still having to make him 3 meals a day, reheating stuff or cooking stuff, and you just like the last thing you want to see or think about is food. Ugh, that was hard. But I made it through. I made it through and I knew it'd be okay. I ate a lot of buttered toast, just like I did with him. And he thought it was cool because he loves bread and toast, so he would get little nibbles of my buttered toast, but I ate so much buttered toast, drank ginger ale. I mean, I think that's one of my points, but yeah. Okay, my first tip, go to bed early. Thankfully for me, Theo is an angel when it comes to nighttime sleep, and he has slept through the night, 12 hours, since he was like 6 months old. Taking care of babies, highly recommend her. I know you wanna like stay up and like hang out with your husband or your partner and like get 10 million things done, but if you're tired, just go to sleep. It's only gonna last for so long, and the time's gonna come where the baby's gonna pop out and then you're just not gonna get as much sleep. So I've definitely been very conscious this time of being like, sleep's not guaranteed, Victoria, once this baby comes, so just take a nap now and don't feel guilty about it. My next tip is to find whatever it is that helps you with your nausea or your morning sickness and stock up on that. I can't remember exactly what it was with Theo, but this time it was ginger ale, ginger chews, hard candy, and buttered toast. Those were my things. I would get like the mini cans of ginger ale and just slowly sip on that throughout the day. I find that keeping a small something in my stomach throughout the day, not letting my stomach get empty, helps, because on an empty stomach I would just constantly feel nauseous. Not getting overheated was important because I get nauseous when I get overheated. You could see me most days just like sipping on ginger ale, nibbling on buttered toast. Speaking of buttered toast, eat what you can. That's my next tip. While we all have these grandiose ideas of like having these super nutritious meals during our pregnancy and eating nothing but like green vegetables and like fresh papaya, that's just not the case for a lot of people in the first trimester, and then you feel guilty because this is what you think you should be doing. My thought is, if you can muster it, get some like greens and vegetables and like healthy things in, but at the end of the day, eat what you can eat and just survive. And so if all you can eat is buttered toast or like plain pasta noodles, get through and eat it. Like I ate so much processed like vegan food that first trimester. Cooking made me, just like the thought of cooking that first trimester was awful. So I just had a lot of like pre-prepared stuff. And just know that there's gonna come a point, usually the beginning of the second trimester, where you're going to want to be able to eat fresh fruits and vegetables again, and those more healthier items that you want to be nourishing your body with. And there's a lot of the first trimester that's just survival mode. Your kid will be fine without your constant undying attention. There is so much mom guilt and constantly feeling like we have to be super attentive, play with them and be there for them, but like kids can entertain themselves. And I think it's good for kids to learn how to entertain themselves. I think it helps like build their imagination and that sort of stuff. So if you feel like absolute death and you just need to lay down on the couch or lay down on the floor and get through a particularly bad bout of nausea, your kids are gonna survive. They will be fine. There was one time in particular summer where I remember I biked with him in the Burley to go get like vegan food from this food truck, and I pushed it too hard because I was cutting it close to when they were gonna leave. And I was so unbelievably, incredibly nauseous. Like I felt so bad. Limped home on my bike. Like the whole time I was there waiting for my food, I was just like trying not to throw up. And then so I got home, didn't even touch my food for a couple of hours. I was that nauseous, and I literally just had to like lay on the floor and focus on not puking. And Theo was fine. He thought it was funny. Like he thinks it's hilarious when I just lay on the floor and he like crawls around me, but he also just goes off and entertains himself. We have the main floor baby proof to where he can't like hurt or kill himself. Have your space that they're gonna be safe. You know they're not gonna get into anything that's gonna hurt them. They might make a mess and that's fine, but have a space you know if they wander out of your sight, they're gonna be fine, so you can get through whatever you're going through. And better yet, if your partner's home, say, keep an eye on him. I gotta go lay down for a second, or I gotta go sit in a dark room, or I'm gonna go hover over the toilet. It's okay if your house isn't spotless, and it's okay if your meals do not look like they're from a Pinterest board. Like I cannot stress this one enough. There's so much about just like survival mode. If your house is a mess, that's fine. Like if one day you're feeling particularly awful, or if it's an entire week of feeling particularly awful, or a month, like it's okay if your house is a mess. It's not gonna hurt anyone. If anyone has anything to say about it, they can clean it. If you just don't have the energy, or you're just, the most I can do is keep this kid alive right now and make it through the day myself, that's fine. Like your house will get cleaned eventually, and it will feel good when the time comes and you can clean it. But yeah, there have been plenty of times where I'm like, it just looks like a tornado went off in here, and I'm like, screw it, it's fine, it'll be okay. And the same goes with meals. I already said, like, eat what you can stomach. You don't have to have these like beautiful 12-course meals. Like order a pizza, heat up a frozen pizza, or make some like vegan chicken nuggets or something simple. There was a lot of times we just had meals from a box and called it a day, and we're all still here, healthy, alive, and thriving. If you've been following along this fall into this winter, you've noticed that most of my videos have been about like getting my shiz together. Around the time I found out I was pregnant, I just like kind of had this quarter life crisis where I was like, I'm barely making it with one kid. How can I possibly survive with two kids and like still have a balance between it all? And like my work-life balance was so off, and I just needed to readjust and tweak some things. And so I've done a lot of work these past couple months, creating new daily habits and routines, changing the way I clean, changing the way I cook and meal plan, and it has been so helpful. I highly recommend going and watching those videos if you feel like you're in just like a life rut and you're struggling to survive. So that was spurred on by finding out I was pregnant and being like, I have to change things because I don't want to just survive. Like I want to flourish. And that leads me to my last point. Make time for yourself. Just in general, but especially during your pregnancy, make time for yourself. I think as mothers, we are just the default parents, and we also have this guilt of like, if we're home, we should be with our families or we should be with our kids. Pass off the baton at night if you need to, or in the morning if you need to, and say, hey, can you get the bottle of milk? Or can you, put them in their crib? Can you do bath time? Hand it off and say like, hey, he's playing down here. Just like make sure he doesn't kill himself. I'm gonna go take a bath. Or like, I'm gonna go to bed early, or whatever it is. It's a little bit difficult right now, coronavirus. So it's not like I can go like out to drinks with friends, or like go hang out with people, or go to a movie, or go shopping by myself, or get my nails done, or get my hair done, or any of that sort of stuff. But there have been times where I'm like, I'm gonna go paint my nails on the back deck. You're in charge. Or like, I'm gonna go take a bath. You're in charge. And so just like making time for myself has been so important. I've started waking up earlier so I have time in the morning before he wakes up for myself. and for work, and that has been great. And then also giving myself time to like wind down and do things that are good for my mental health before bed, instead of just like being on Netflix or my phone or whatever. Find things that have a positive impact on you and make time for those. I can't wait for the days when I can go out and like have a girls' night. At the end of the day, the first trimester only lasts so long, and then usually like at the beginning, a couple weeks into your second trimester is when it eases up, and then there is a light at the end of the tunnel and you're like, okay, I can do this. This is easier. It's fine. And then you can tell people, you start showing, and so it's not like you're suffering through this hidden secret, but also like tell people you're pregnant. Not like announce it to everyone, but like have your core people, obviously the person you got pregnant with. And then I told my best friend and my sister like right away, the day after I found out, because like you just need people to be like, this sucks, I feel so sick, or to just like understand what you're going through, because to suffer in silence is not the answer. Anyways, that's what I have to say about the first trimester with one little kid already at home. Like, look at what like actually needs to get done. It's okay if you're in survival mode. It's okay if like everything looks like it's a disaster, and also like just take time for yourself. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.